Hi guys, briefly today there's something I want to talk about Nigerian brothers. I want to talk briefly about two set of people, those Nigerians that are planning to come to Malaysia or wish to go to Malaysia, and those ones that are already living in Malaysia. There's two things that you need to understand. For those that are planning to come to Malaysia, there's something I always say in most of my videos that if you're planning to come to Malaysia, you have to understand the fact that Malaysia doesn't give unskilled job to Africans. So this is a problem that most of our people don't really give a listening ear to. And then when they arrive, yes, they start crying and complaining that there's no job, there's no this, there's no that. So before you come to Malaysia, you have to understand the fact that Malaysia doesn't give unskilled job. And what is unskilled job? Unskilled job is those jobs that you don't have the degrees, those little things like cleaning houses or sweeping the road or doing like care work or security job or anything like that. Those kind of jobs, the places you can get it is the UK or any European countries. So you cannot get those kind of jobs in Malaysia as an African, because those kind of jobs they reserve it for people that are coming from their fellow Asian countries like Myanmar, Indonesia, Philippines, Nepal, Bangladesh. All those people that are coming from those countries, those are the people that do those kind of things like packing trash, cleaning houses, taking care of people, daycare work, and anything like those things, so those menial jobs. Those are the people that does it. It's not for Nigerians. It's not for Africans. The only job that Nigerians or Africans can get in Malaysia are expatriate jobs. So the expatriate job means those jobs that have very high qualifications. So if you're coming to Malaysia, if you wish to come to Malaysia to work, make sure you have a very high qualification, or you're very good at, you're very talented in whatever you're doing. Because if you don't have this talent, you cannot get a job in Malaysia. And when you already here, you will start crying and shouting that there's no job in Malaysia. So that there are a lot of jobs, there are a lot of opportunities in Malaysia, but you have to have the skills, you have to have the capacity, you have to have the qualification to get these employments and engagements. And apart from jobs also, there are business opportunities, there are a lot of things that you can do in Malaysia, there are a lot of privileges you can do in Malaysia here, actually, as a Nigerian, as an African, even in the face of all the discriminations and whatever. So, but all you need to do is you need to be a very reasonable person. You need to be very smart, because every country you go to, if you're not very smart, you will not succeed. Even if you go to the UK, the US, or Canada, you need to be very smart, because when you go to a foreign country, you know you're a foreigner there. You know that a lot of things will not favor you. So, for you to survive in that country, you have to be very smart and creative. In any country you are, if you're very smart and creative, you don't really need to work too hard or overwork yourself to make money. In this Malaysia, there are different things, there are different opportunities and privileges that you can do to make money legally, legitimately, without having to engage in any illegal stuff like scamming or any fraudulent activity or drug or anything. So if you do any of those illegal things, it will not only spoil your name, it will spoil the names of those Nigerians that are living here already and those ones that are still planning to come. So, and the second thing is that those ones that are already here, those Nigerians that are already here, the problem is that most of them are unqualified people. They don't have the qualifications to work in a professional body. So they are just, most of them are school dropouts. They didn't even really finish their degrees. And even the ones that finished did not have the particular skills to engage in these opportunities and vacancies. So they just sit at home, and some of them engage in fraudulent activities. And tomorrow they will be the ones shouting and crying, there's no job in Malaysia. There are jobs, but the problem is that you don't have the skills. You don't have the qualifications. So if you don't have the qualifications and skills, stop shouting there are no jobs. I have seen Nigerians that have gotten employments, legal employments here in Malaysia, legitimately, and they are currently working in Malaysia. So there's one thing you have to understand about Malaysia is that there's a discrimination against you as an African, as a Nigerian in particular, because Nigeria have a very bad name abroad, and in Malaysia, very, very bad name. So that's one thing you need to understand. Nigeria have a bad name in this country. So for you to get these opportunities, you need to show them that you are different from those people that they are seeing on the TV committing crime and doing all sort of illegal things. So that is number one discrimination that you will face. But apart from that, you have to understand that there are jobs, there are employment opportunities for expatriates from every country. Like there are opportunities, for instance, in the IT sector. Every company that is looking for talents from the IT sector, they are not discriminating. They usually don't discriminate because it's a very rare talent. It's a very special talent that a very few people have. So even in Malaysia, they have shortage of those people from the IT background. So when they see anyone that can handle that position, they don't care whatever country you're coming from. They can handle your visa and whatever, as far as you can be able to manage that position very well. So that is what happens here in Malaysia. Different opportunities, different job vacancies for expatriates. Whichever one they release, if they are accepting foreigners, whenever you see that they allow even foreigners or locals to apply for that particular job, you will know that the talent is very scarce to get, and it's very difficult for them to get a local person to handle that position. So that's an opportunity for you if you have the skills and qualifications. So whenever you're planning or thinking of coming to Malaysia, if you know that you don't have the skills and qualifications, you can think of going to countries like the UK or European countries, or probably American countries like Canada and US. So those are the countries that you can go, and probably you can get some unskilled jobs to do. Like in the UK, you can do some care jobs and all of those things. So, but if you know that you have the skills, if you're coming from the IT background, in particular IT background, if you know that you're a very good programmer, you will make a lot of money in this country. People that are working in the IT background, like software developers, if you're a full stack developer, you can be earning anything above 10,000 ringgit and above in a month. That's 10,000 ringgit is over 1 million naira in a month. So anything you're doing, any qualification you have, any skill you have to make sure that you are very good at it. That's the only way you can get an employment here in Malaysia. But if you know that you're not very good at whatever you're doing, do not think of coming to Malaysia, because if you come here you will be frustrated unless you are very smart also. Because if you're very smart, if you come here, even if you didn't get any official employment, you can be creative and create something that will sustain you here in the country, and you can live legally also. There are different ways you can live legally in Malaysia. Well, if you're coming, make sure you put your mind in staying legal all the time, because at any moment you goes illegal, your visa expires and you're still in this country, you will face a lot of troubles. You will face a lot of difficulties. That's the problem with those ones that are living here that doesn't have visa. They face a lot of difficulties. You cannot do a lot of things. You cannot even go out comfortably. So you cannot travel anytime you want. So those are the things that you need to consider if you're thinking or planning to come to Malaysia. There are a lot of opportunities in Malaysia. Even if you're not getting any official employment, even if you don't want to work for any company, you can start something by yourself here in this country, and you can still remain legal. That's one thing about Malaysia. It's very easy for you to create something that will be very valuable, and you get a lot of interested customers and clients. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're planning, if it has to do with coming to Malaysia, make sure you always put your mind in the legalities that are involved. Do not think of coming here and losing your visa or anything like that. Do whatever you can as much as possible to retain your visa in this country, because if you have your visa in this country, you will achieve a lot. And if you come here, you have to be really smart. If you know that you are not very smart, and you cannot be able to secure employment in the professional bodies, like you don't have the skills and qualifications, do not think of coming to Malaysia. Because if you come to Malaysia, you're not smart, you're not creative, and you don't have qualifications, you don't have the skills, you will face a lot of difficulties. It's not going to be easy for you. You will just be roaming the street. So if you know that you have the skills, you're free to apply to Malaysia, and when you are already in Malaysia, it will be much more easier for you to migrate to other countries in case Malaysia didn't favor you. Malaysia favors some people, Malaysia doesn't favor some people. Even in the UK also, some people in the UK now are currently running to Canada. So it favors some people, it doesn't favor some people. That's how all countries are. So whichever country you're planning to go to, please be the kind of person that have the skills and qualification to contribute to the value and economy of those countries that you plan to go to. Don't go to any country and start bringing trouble. Don't bring cultism to them, especially this Malaysia. We face a lot of difficulties and stigmatizations because of the nonsense that our people bring to this country. You come all the way from Nigeria, you bring cultism to this country. You bring fighting, you bring fraudulent activities, you bring a lot of things, and then when they see these things, they use it to stigmatize every one of us. So this is very terrible. I know there are a lot of thousands of Nigerians that are living in this country that are not doing anything legal. They are just there messing around, and most of them doesn't even have documents. So please, guys, if you're already living in Malaysia, think of something very smart. Even if you're already facing difficulties with your visa or whatever, be creative, be smart. When you are creative, you contribute to the economy positively. You will find a privilege and opportunity of how you can fix yourself legally in documents and whatever in this country. All you need to do is create something that the people will be interested in. Be a very smart person that people will see that you have a value to contribute to the economy. Then you will see helps will come for you. So if you don't have skills to work in the professional body, you need to be smart and creative. Then if you're not smart and creative, you need to have the skills and qualifications to work in a professional body. That is the only way you can survive in Malaysia if you're planning to come to Malaysia. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys are really understand things. And this is not only applicable to Malaysia, whichever country you're going to. Even there are people that are in the UK also that are still crying that they couldn't get a job. There are people that are in America, United States. There are people that are in Canada or some part of European countries that are still not doing well. So whichever country you're going to, make sure you have the qualifications to secure the job that you're looking for. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow my Facebook page. Until I see you again, guys. Bye bye.